Hello, this is daughter number 3, and welcome to Bill Steffen Weather. It is November 14, and I'm here to answer the question of why Bill has not been on camera. I know some of you have been asking, and he just had a tiny little procedure with his eye. It's no big deal. The eye's fine. He's totally fine, but he does look a little bit frightful, and it is past Halloween. So we thought we would take a break and have him be a radio man for a little bit, and let's see. Bill, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, there's your first graphic, and you are going to take it away. I'll see everyone later.
Okay, that's a look at the KP index, which is what we use to judge whether we'll be able to see the northern lights or not. And you can see what's happening here. The higher that graph goes, the better the view of the northern lights is going to be. So normally it's down in the green level. We don't see it jump up very often here, especially in Michigan here. We're closer to the equator than we are to the North Pole, not by much, but something to watch out for. So we were down in the 1 to 3 range here during the day Tuesday, and then all of a sudden we bounce way up to almost a 9, and that is a spectacular view of the northern lights. When you get the KP index up to 9, we saw the northern lights all the way down to northern Mexico. Can you believe that? And then, of course, it came back a little bit here. It went back down into the 4s, and then bounced up a little bit here for Wednesday night. But you can see it's back to the green right now, and so we're not seeing the northern lights around Michigan or anywhere here in the contiguous United States here overnight tonight. But it was certainly a spectacular show. We had literally dozens and dozens of people send in pictures to us, which is great. Gail and I went out twice to view the northern lights. We went to the athletic field, and we saw them a little bit. Nothing spectacular there. We did get a chance to see the moon tonight. The moon is right now in its crescent phase during the early morning. We're seeing less and less of the moon each night, and it will eventually become a thin crescent and then disappear for a while as it's lost in the glare of the sun for a day or two, and then it will reappear in the evening as an increasing or waxing crescent moon. Okay, let's go on and talk weather for a little bit. Thursday's high temperatures: warmest to the south, Coldwater 54, 53 Kalamazoo and Battle Creek, Grand Rapids an even 50. Coolest temperatures were up north and near Lake Michigan. Didn't get warmer than 47 at the Muskegon Pier and the South Haven Pier. Nice picture there of Windmill Island with a beautiful blue sky. You'll notice that most of the leaves are off the trees now, and they do a pretty good job of keeping things clean there at the island. I don't know if I see anybody in that shot, but there were people walking around there today and enjoying the day, even though it was a bit on the breezy side. Okay, taking a look at our sunrise and sunset times. Days continue to shorten. Sunset now comes at 5:19, and we're down to 9 hours, about 9 3/4 hours of daylight. Average high temperature and low temperature there at 48 and 33, so that's gone down quite a bit. Record high temperature for the day, 68 in 1902. That was before Wilbur and Orville Wright sent their airplane up into the air, so we've been keeping records for a long time here. Record low temperature for the day, 13 in 1969, and that was the year we put a man on the moon. The Holland Lighthouse is there. It was certainly breezy. Whitecaps out on the lake, and you can see the flag unfurled there in the gusty winds. The lakeshore forecast for Friday calls for southeast to south winds and fairly light. Waves should only be running around a foot, and then they'll pick up a little bit here over the weekend again. We'll probably need small craft advisories again. Okay, and the beach looking pretty good there. The 66-hour precipitation totals, and look at California. Holy cow. Get the bailing bucket. They could see 3 inches of rain in Los Angeles down to San Diego. And the possibility for an isolated thunder shower. Much of the west picking up on some rain. You can see a lot of rain up towards Seattle as well. In Michigan, there'll be a few very light showers late Saturday. But other than that, really not much going on in the Great Lakes area. And you can see rain lingers in the northeastern U.S. where it's kind of cloudy, cool, and rather gloomy. But boy, the rains in California are pretty amazing. We have one tropical depression now, not a tropical storm anymore. This is Feng Wang. And once Feng Wang goes away here, there will be no hurricanes, typhoons, tropical storms, cyclones, willies, or any of that anywhere in the world. So kind of a quiet end of the hurricane season. Poor Jamaica that got slammed by Hurricane Melissa. They were about the only ones that, well, Philippines took a bit of a hit there as well. But much of the world escaping hurricane damage here this season. And we may be pretty well done here in the Atlantic and Eastern Pacific. Mostly sunny skies today. There'll be a chance of a shower Saturday afternoon and Saturday night. Dry weather expected Sunday and Monday, though it will be cooler. And there'll be a chance of a shower next Tuesday. All right, let's move on and talk about weather here for just a second. Today's weather looks like this. Very pleasant 56 with a high temperature being 48. That's 8 degrees warmer than average, plus some sunshine. I hope to get a few leaves raked up. Temperatures early morning down to 33. There could be some scattered frost early. Humidity down to a pleasant 55 in the afternoon, and winds will be fairly light out of the southeast to south. Those winds will pick up here for Saturday and Sunday. Taking a look at highs across the area, Chicago, you reached 64 degrees today with sunshine. That's a pretty nice day. Get out the golf clubs. Detroit just 54. Up north, Houghton Lake at 52. Traverse City 56. And up in the UP, you can see we've got readings there in the 50s. So that's a pretty nice warm day for them. There was a little bit of snow on the ground early Thursday morning down in northern Indiana. That disappeared during the afternoon. And we're not looking at any significant snow around here for the next 1 to 2 weeks. I think the pattern overall will remain pretty mild. High temperatures for Saturday look like this, up to the low 60s in Grand Rapids. A little cooler at the lake with the wind coming in off the water, 57 at South Haven. Look at Chicago again. Chicago and Gary, 67. Detroit at 63, Houghton Lake 58, and up in the UP, just starting to turn a little bit cooler towards Ironwood, but a nice day up there as well. Just a little bit on the cloudy side. And then on Sunday, we start to bring in the cooler air, but we're back to around average. Temperatures will be in the mid-40s for Sunday, Monday, and on Tuesday. 38 for Houghton Lake, kind of a chilly day there, but the UP again seeing some cool temperatures, but all in all, not bad. I think Sunday and Monday will turn out to be dry. Taking a look at the 5-day forecast, mostly sunny skies today. There is that chance of a shower here Saturday, but the high temperature should reach 60, maybe mid-50s right at the beaches. 45 here on Sunday, but with some sun in the afternoon. It may be cloudy early. And a nice day on Monday, partly to mostly sunny skies expected, and then we'll have that chance of a shower here on Tuesday. Chance of rain is just 40% on Saturday, so that's less than 50-50, and only about 50-50 on Tuesday. The overall pattern looks pretty dry here over the next 10 days. In the long-range outlook, still warmer than average in Michigan and throughout much of the eastern U.S., but on the cool side, out west, the higher elevations in the mountains out west are going to start to pick up snow, and ski operators there are going to get pretty excited. Parts of Colorado, Utah, Montana, California, Washington, Oregon, highest mountains there will be snow covered. We'll see if we can grab a picture of that to show you. Rather wet pattern over much of the country here. This is the period November 21 to 27, so it takes us all the way to Thanksgiving. If we do get precipitation in Michigan, we're thinking that a good portion of this will come in the form of rain and not snow. Normally, we average about 7 inches of snow during the month of November. We've only had 1 inch so far in Grand Rapids, and I don't see much coming here in the next couple of weeks. So let's look at our weather. Looking pretty good here for today. Hope you can get outside and enjoy.
Hello.
Yes, Michelle, I do kind of look like a football player with that war paint under his eyes, and
a little bit.
or either that or a zombie, I guess. But I will be improving here, and this will help.
But you're fine. But the thing people need to know is you're fine. Right. You were always going to be fine. It wasn't a whole big risky thing. You're fine. It's just that on TV you get a sub for a week, but when you're your own YouTube channel, then you just do the radio.
You don't want to look at me.
Yeah. So
I'm feeling fine. There is a little bit of discomfort and itching, but other than that, no, I'm doing fine. Life goes on as planned. I did not go out of the house today, and that's unusual for me. Gail went out to get the mail.
You need a big, thick pair of glasses.
Yeah, I have one here somewhere, but I thought that would, I don't know. Maybe I'll try that tomorrow night. What do you think?
Maybe we could do that too.
I don't know if I can see you or the screen, but
That's true. Yeah, probably not. But I
well,
mean, you
anyhow,
can go
I
out
had
in
to go
public.
down
You just
with
need,
cats today, so it made for a nice
yeah,
day.
really dark sunglasses, and then you could go out in public.
Hmm.
Oh, so hello to a fellow Luxembourg citizen. We haven't talked about that
Yeah,
yet.
how about that?
Yeah, I've started reading the history of it, and it was the land has gotten smaller and smaller over the last 100 years. That's why Luxembourg is so small. There's parts that used to be a part of Belgium, the Netherlands, France, and they all kind of broke off into those countries over the years.
Yeah, Luxembourg is, I can't remember, it's one or the other. It's either that it's smaller than Kent County or it has fewer people than Kent County. And it's a
Yeah,
duchy, which means it's
600,000.
ruled by a duke, rather
Mhm.
than a king.
The only one in the world.
Yes, and the duke doesn't do a lot of politicking, and I mean, he's you might be apt to see him show up and say hi to everybody that's at the bowling alley or something like that. He's a little
Hmm.
more down to earth than you'd find some.
Hmm. Okay, so we are a weather show first. So we're going to do the weather related stuff that people sent us first, and people sent us amazing things. There were people in the parking lot after church choir practice Wednesday looking for the Northern Lights here in
Yeah,
Alabama. And I was like,
and,
oh,
and
you used to really
we
be
have
able to
some
see those
pictures
in
from
Michigan.
Alabama. I
Yeah,
mean, we had pictures from northern Mexico.
that's amazing.
Yeah,
So Barbara P says that they are called curtains of glory. I've been privileged to see them multiple times, some incredibly spectacular and always in Michigan. And they
right,
are spectacular in Michigan.
right, and they're related more to the not the geographic North Pole, but the magnetic North Pole.
Hmm.
Oh, we got
Okay,
some pictures
so
from Joy.
yes, we have Escanaba River Cam, and I have an email into her to ask her if she'll let us upload the entire thing as a standalone video. So she sent me a time lapse of the entire night.
Wow.
And it's incredible. The world needs to see it. So I had a hard time picking parts. So this is just 10 seconds. And then I've got another part to show at the end of the night. So here's 10 seconds. This is from the 11 p.m. hour.
Okay. Ooh, curtains.
Mm-hmm.
And some colors too.
Yeah, isn't that incredible?
Very nice.
Yeah, and then the whole one she sent me, you see the sunset and then the northern lights all night and then the sun coming up. It's really, really beautiful.
Neat.
So more of that at the end. And here we go. Here's Matt Rogers, Stony Lake, and look at those stars.
Yes, and you can see the green there is the dominant color usually when we have an aurora around here in Michigan. And occasionally it'll branch off into reds and yellows and whatnot, but looking pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And we see the stars there.
And the way that many stars, look at how many you can see.
Mm-hmm. I'm
Just
not
stunning.
really I'm not really an expert when it comes to constellation. I'm looking to see if there's anything there I can pick out.
Orion's belt maybe on the right-hand side. Am I making that up?
I don't know about that.
Well, maybe somebody
If you're
knows.
looking north, depending on how high up you look, you should be able to see the Little Dipper, which, of course, Polaris, the North Star, is in the handle of the Little Dipper. So that's what I was kind of looking for.
We need to go back to the planetarium. And I know I always say that. It's one of my favorite things to do with you.
Yeah, public museum.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And here's one from New Era that Matt Rogers took.
And look at the color there. Isn't that neat?
Mm-hmm.
And that would be wouldn't that be spectacular to be on a movie?
Mm-hmm.
See the colors dancing around. I mean, they were. I mean, you typical see a display like that in Alaska or Norway.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
Very
so,
nice.
Matt, thank you so much for sending.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're going to Crystal. And I'm afraid I'm going to pronounce this wrong. Ryan, thank you for the photos.
Yes, and it almost looks like under the clouds there's a little flash of lightning there, but
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't be lightning now. But you can see the clouds there. Sometimes the clouds really make it interesting.
Mm-hmm. And I thought this was funny. The neighbor gave up, but it paid off to stay out.
Wow. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we didn't stay out terribly long.
Mm-hmm.
But we went up twice. We went up, then went back home, and then went back up again. And When
So where did you go to see them?
we went to the Alpine Athletic Field, but
Uh-huh.
there was the first time there were people up there, and the second time we went up there, we were the only ones.
Wow.
It was really quiet. I mean, you couldn't hear a dog barking or a plane flying at 36,000 feet overhead or anything like that. It was really quiet.
Wow.
I, very pretty picture with the tree there. And I still can't recognize the stars. Like I said, I think I'll have to go back to the planetarium and get a refresher course. Look at those colors, and it kind of blends from one color into the next. Like it's really neat to have the tree there.
And here we are in Belmont. This is Tim Olson.
Belmont is just north of Grand Rapids, so this is an area where there tends to be a little bit more artificial light, but it looks pretty dark where Tim is here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and through the trees, it's really cool.
Mm-hmm. All natural light. Ooh, look at that.
Yeah.
That's even better.
Here, I'm gonna take myself off.
Wow, look at that. With the bright red there and everything. It's beautiful. It really is. The clouds down toward the bottom there. Very, very pretty. Thanks, Tim. Really appreciate that. And thanks to everybody that sent in pictures. There's one more from Tim, looking through the trees. And of course, we have so many different kinds of trees here in Michigan, conifers and deciduous trees and everything. Very nice. Awesome. Look at that. You usually don't get that pinkish red magenta type color. Normally, when we see the northern lights in Michigan, there's just a faint little green up on the northern horizon, and you have to have a really clear view to be able to see it. But boy, here it's coming up almost overhead. Really neat picture. Bradley Taylor bringing us a picture here. It doesn't say where the picture is from.
Yeah, and look how similar this one is to that one.
Yeah, yeah. The pictures that we took with the camera ours were nowhere near as nice as some of these pictures, but the pictures that we took with our cameras were actually a little bit better than what we could see with the naked eye. And I had a number of people remark on that.
And we have some stars pictures too.
Okay. Do you recognize anything there?
No.
Oh, I'm looking all over here. Pretty picture.
Like,
and every one of those stars is a sunshine, a sun that is so far away, and there are like trillions and trillions and quadrillions of them everywhere as you look out into space. It really makes you feel small.
Yeah, for sure. In college, when they make all the liberal arts majors take one science class, I took physics. So my astronomy is not that great.
Yeah, interesting.
And
well, thanks, John. And then John Scully. Here we're seeing the stars again. Really, really neat to see that. Now, I wonder if that isn't. Let's see. That must be something down there, just center left, a little bit to the left. It almost looks like the nose of Taurus, the bull, but probably not true. Ooh, there's some pretty pictures from John. Lots of stars out there.
That is one good thing about working the late shift is sometimes I get home at 1, 2 in the morning and the stars are out and it's beautiful.
Yeah, it really is. And he could be looking in any direction. Ooh, look at that from Bernie Engels in Hamilton. Hamilton is in Allegan County. We've got the half moon up there above the snow-covered trees. We did get a couple of reports from Allegan County of about 5 to 6 inches of snow. And I bet right now all of that is gone. That is all melted off. But isn't that a pretty picture? Yeah, very pleasant. And that's milkweed. You have the milkweed coming out, the seeds coming out there. We like milkweed because monarch butterflies need milkweed. They gravitate to milkweed. So if you have milkweed around, instead of pulling it out, you might want to leave a few stalks of that for the monarch butterflies. You got some pretty cirrus clouds there in the background made up of tiny ice crystals, cold in the upper atmosphere, and that's why you get ice up there even during the summertime. But beautiful place to be. Nice place to go for. There's some really nice places in Allegan County to go for a walk. You got the state game area there, a number of different county parks, which are really nice to visit. We've done that before.
So thanks, Bernie.
Mm-hmm. Red Pine Point on Mullet Lake. And look at this. This is right around sunrise or sunset, I assume. And you got the sun shining underneath the clouds there, illuminating them and then reflecting off the water. Pretty shot. Mullet Lake is a pretty good sized lake. It's bigger than any of the lakes that we have in Kent County. It would be bigger than Wabasas Lake or Lincoln Lake. Those are the two biggest lakes we have in Kent County. And look at the frost from John Doherty. That's the frost on the stalks there, looking pretty. You can get frost at ground level here, even if the temperature at eye level is at 34 or 35, it can still be 32 down at ground level. And there's that kind of difference. Thanks, John. Have yourself a great weekend.
Okay. November 14, 1969, Apollo 12 lifts off. It was the second flight to land on the moon. Charles Pete Conrad and Alan L. Bean walked on the moon, and Richard Gordon stayed in lunar orbit. So
he was L. Bean instead of LL Bean, right?
Exactly. So what do you remember of this personally? Because you would have been...
I was in high school.
Yeah. So do you remember all this happening and it was on the news and a big deal? And
all that? Yeah. I felt sorry for Richard Gordon. He travels all that way, 250,000 miles to get to the moon, and then he can't get out and go see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Pete Conrad and Alan Bean walked on the moon. And I think they had a longer walk than the first crew did, than Apollo 11. So interesting.
That's just amazing to me. I don't understand why we don't go back every chance we get.
Yeah, well, it's expensive. That's probably the main drawback. There's probably a few billionaire, almost trillionaires that could afford it.
So here's your quiz question. How many people have walked on the moon?
Oh, not many. And in fact, all of them were, related to the U.S. space program and in the late 60s and 70s.
Yep, all of them in the Apollo program.
Yeah, I'll guess 9. Oh, 12, and I was going to guess 12 too. I should have known that.
6 missions, 2 apiece.
Yeah. And we got them back every time, and you can see, of course, they have to be protected from the elements and the radiation and everything there. They've walked a long way, it looks like. There's the lunar landing module over there in the upper right. So they're kind of moving around there.
And the nerves of steel that you would have had to do that. Like, I get nervous on like Space Mountain at Disney World. These people like walked on the moon and kept it together.
Yeah.
I guess that's why they're chosen for that.
Well, and there's no doctor there if you get hurt, or anything like that, or if all of a sudden you get a tummy ache or something like that, you can't go run and get the Pepto-Bismol or something like that. There's nothing there. Wow. But it's got to be exciting.
Okay, so what is your knowledge of moon music?
Well, let's find out.
Okay, here we go. And don't sing them because I don't want to have to deal with the YouTubes on that.
Oh.
Okay. Fly me to the moon and let me stay among the
stars.
Very good. That Frank Sinatra?
Sinatra did that amongst many other people.
Yeah,
I think.
Other people. Okay.
Yeah.
Moon River wider than a
mile.
Very good.
That song was written by Henry Mancini, and he had to write it for Audrey Hepburn, and she could only sing an eight note range. So that song is in an 8-note range from high to low. Yeah.
It's a beautiful song.
A little piece of trivia. I think that was for the movie Breakfast at Tiffany's, if I'm not mistaken.
And this one is Kermit the Frog. Well, I'd like to visit the moon on a high in the air.
The first thing I thought of was Lorna Doone. There was a commercial that said I'd fly to the moon for a Lorna Doone. Well, I'd like to visit the moon on I'll guess balloon. I don't know if I know this one.
Rocket ship.
Rocket ship. Well, okay.
And
Attach
then
a
it goes
rocket to your
on, I'd
balloon
like
and
to
all
visit the
set.
moon, but I don't think I'd like to live there. And then like adventures are fun, but it's also fun to come home is the gist of this song.
Yeah. Sesame Street, we did a trivia thing on Sesame Street. It started like in what, 1969 or something like that. It's been going ever since.
Mm-hmm. Blue Moon, You Saw Me Standing.
Oh, Sha Na Na did this song. Oh, when I want to sing it, I can't.
Thank you.
There's copyright laws, and I know we're small potatoes here, but you never know if there's some lawyer somewhere that's going to glom on this. But you can use the lyrics. How about
You Saw
Alone?
Me Standing Alone. Very good. Very good. You're doing well. I see the bad moon arising. I see what on the way.
Oh, I love that song. That's my favorite severe weather song. I play that before we have a tornado watch here. Trouble.
Trouble. Good job.
I see hurricanes a blowing.
This song I didn't know, so maybe this will be a stretch.
Water survival. Yeah, check it out.
Blue Moon of Keep on Shining. Shine on the one that's gone and said goodbye.
Oh, is that Blue Moon of Kentucky?
Yeah, good job.
Wow. How about that?
You know your moon trivia very well.
I'm a geography major. I have not seen these slides ahead of time. I just want to tell everybody that.
And this day in 1973, R&B hip-hop singer Adina Marie Howard was born in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Her hits include her debut album, Do You Want to Ride, and What's Love Got to Do with It? So happy birthday, Grand
people
Rapids
are familiar
native.
with those two songs, even if you're not a hip-hop enthusiast. Yeah, another claim to fame. Who's the most famous artist we've had from Grand Rapids? I'm thinking of like Al Green, maybe.
Like musician or like artist or
any music. How's that?
I don't know. Verve Pipe, but that's what my generation's going to answer. So Brian Vander Ark.
Vander Arks, yeah, and they're still around Grand Rapids, I think.
I heard him live in concert in Ohio when I was in college.
Oh, okay, yeah, neat.
Oh yes, so we are going to go out with More of Joy, Moore's Escanaba River Cam. So thank you so much to everyone who sent in photos and videos. And we're going to say goodnight to you with more Escanaba River Cam Northern Lights.
Good night. Thanks for watching.